So hello and welcome back everybody. I'm sorry for the small technical issue. We are launching back into the simulator as soon as we can. Now hopefully we didn't miss the race start. Oh yes, we didn't. Give me just a second. So qualifying has just ended. Some people are still out on track, such as Alexander Rage, feeling the grass a little bit. I think that's not what his friends referred to when they said go touch some grass. But I guess that's how it is. Who is still in a lap? No one. No one's in the pits. Except Alexander Rage. Okay, and now we are currently on the grid and taking pole position. I can still give you the rundown of the grid. So taking pole position will be Scarlett Brown with the 10B performance, Mercedes AMG. They performed quite well last week, but they couldn't take home the win. So hopefully they'll perform a bit better in Barcelona. Then taking P2 is Stian Vissers with the Money Shift Racing Lamborghini Huracan in the 166 car. Taking P3 is Dominic Zieher with the Emil Frey Racing Ferrari. Then P4 will be Ugrayelbe with the Aurora Racing Ford Mustang. P5 is Yusuf Pakik. 6 is Jan Pavlik. 7th will be Daniel Jendrzejek. I'm a bit tired, let's just say that. I cannot even pronounce his name. Probably I will refer to him as Daniel from now on. Then Alexander Rage is taking P8, and from the last row, last person is Joshua Coleman, who arrived a bit late, and I believe he couldn't manage to set a fast lap. But this is an endurance race, and we'll be here for approximately 2 hours, so I wouldn't be fearing that he won't quite be there at the end. He definitely has a chance to survive, to even get on the podium. It's a long race, so we'll see. So drivers have started their warm-up laps, and it is still wet conditions, so it will be quite a challenge to get the start going without anyone crashing. Hopefully they can manage, but in these conditions a lot of people aren't even prepared for them, so we'll see. Scarlett Brown warming up his tires. Although in the wet there is not much use. He'll probably just roll until the start and finish line. Oh, her tires, my bad. Thank you. I think I referred to her as a him last race as well. So, my bad. Thank you for reminding me. While she's warming up her tires, the others in the pack are catching up soon, lining up double file as we are approaching the last few corners. So now lining up double file. Oh, someone already missed the corner on the formation lap. I think it was Alexander Rage. Now in the start and finish line, soon getting the green. Any second now. And we go green, green, green. Let's see who will get the best start. One of the Lexuses in the back. I believe it's... oh, it's only one pilot, Pekic, and they nearly go 4 wide. Pekic on the inside, potentially launching himself up into P3. First few drivers, even in these wet conditions, have managed to get through cleanly. Yalbay managed to keep his position in the meanwhile. So he kept P3. Oh no, overtook. My bad. Overtook Ziar. And now Yalbay again trying to make an overtake in the Mustang. It's getting some slipstream from the Lamborghini. Let's see, on the outside. They are head to toe. While the Lexus, Pekic, Yusuf Pekic in the back, is also receiving some pressure. Oh, Yalbay went off the track. So he's out from P3. That hardly gained position in the beginning of the race just vanished. He didn't just lose 1, he lost 2. Oh, the Lexus diving down on the inside. What a maneuver from Yusuf Pekic. Pekic on the inside once again. And let's see, he clears the Ferrari, which might open the door for Yusuf... not Yusuf, sorry. Bugra Yalbay. Yalbay. Oh, getting overtaken. Wow. Yalbay is making a lot of mistakes today. But still side by side with the McLaren, he seems to have a better exit speed. So Bugra Yalbay just by a bit, but manages to keep his position. The pack is still quite together. Even the first 2. Oh, the Lamborghini. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? We have to keep an eye out on the back. Joshua Coleman is trying to reel in Daniel. Oh, Daniel runs wide, which opens the door for the Porsche of Joshua Coleman. Nearly side by side, the 2 cars. Into the next corner. And let's see. Coleman brakes in time and manages to get a really clean overtake in the wet conditions. Quite nice driving from the Porsche driver. Sorry, I need to warm up my commentator voice. I was kind of rushing to get here. Oh, and the BMW on the inside dives down. Let's see, will we be seeing a switchback from the Porsche? Yes, we do. He has a way better exit. But the Porsche misjudges that corner and slips his rear tires into the gravel trap. But it still has the better line overall. So this seems like an overtake over and done with. Oh, and there is a side-by-side battle going on between Dominik Zieher and Yusuf Pakik. Oh, and Zieher down on the inside, misjudges the corner, cuts back his Yusuf Pakik. Well, Zieher gets the fastest lap. He lost that position, and Bugra Yalbay is coming. He wants to fight for a podium again. So Yalbay now having a bit better line. He knows that by being consistent on a wet track is way better, and just as I said that, Zieher goes off track with his Ferrari. He really has to get back into his own pace, because this, you know, lack of focus. Oh! Pavlik goes off track in the meanwhile. This lack of focus is costing him a lot. He has been on the podium just like Yalbay, but it seems like he cannot keep that position because of the constant pressure that's been put on him. And in the meanwhile, oh, Daniel took his position back. It's really jumping from one battle to another in these first few laps. Probably it will get more quiet in the middle of the race and then fired up again. Oh, the Porsche runs wide. He kicked it a bit sideways. You can see that these wet conditions kind of bring out Tokyo Drift spirit from the drivers. It's really hard to steer the equipment they are racing on in these weather conditions, and there will be even more rain coming in 30 minutes. It's not ideal, but some people enjoy the wet conditions, such as Yusuf Pakik, who is on a podium as of now, or in a podium position. If he finishes there, he'll be able to step on the lowest step of the podium. And I remember last race he was quite unfortunate. I don't think they finished the race, or if they did, they were quite at the back. So now Yalbay trying to show himself in the side mirrors of that Lexus, trying to confuse his enemy. It seems like it's working as he's reeling in the driver ahead. Especially gaining a lot on braking zones. I hope that he doesn't get too confident and then slides off track just like how Zieher did. Yalbay getting really close on the straight. Let's see, will he try to do anything? Trying to keep it calm for now. It's just the beginning of the race. There's nothing to be really fighting for yet, other than gaps. You don't want to overstrain your tires, although it rarely happens in the rain. And now the Lexus misses his braking point, which gives Yalbay an advantage on the straight. Oh! And Yalbay misses his braking point, kicks the Lexus sideways and off the track. Both of the drivers lose positions. Yalbay only one, or not even one, actually. But Zier loses 3. Oh, Zier had, Pekik loses 3. Oh! Zier is also kind of on and off the track. I wonder what's going on in the Ferrari driver's mind. Again, going off into the runoff area. Now the Mustang still trying to reel in the air and still working up his way towards a podium. Okay, so now the drivers are getting quite spaced out. Yalbay misses his braking zone. Oh, I can see in the back. Daniel is getting closer to Pekik because Pekik went off the track. What is happening? Yusuf Pekik really got out of pace. After the incident with the Mustang, he just couldn't recover yet. He still has to get his head back into the game, because he's been losing positions ever since. Now we are taking a ride with Daniel, with the Team WRT BMW. You can see that Pekik is trying to close the gap. Oh, and Daniel goes around. He went wide, slipped onto the grass. So Pekik got another chance from live. He is currently P6 and looking to get Pavlik. Jan Pavlik. You see, Barcelona is quite an interesting... Oh, what is happening? As soon as I wanted to say something, Yusuf Pekik went off the track, kind of extended the corner. Thankfully, no damage has been done to the car, and he kept his position for now. Such good comms and almost no one in the live is so sad. I wouldn't say I'm a good commentator. I am decent, but sometimes I cannot keep the commentary going. Of course, in an endurance event, it's really about just, you know, reading comments, talking about stuff, talking about what the track is famous for. I have some notes jotted down, and I'll for sure be talking about those. Also, if you're watching and you want to be a part of the SPEEDIOTS community, you can just go down to the description. I believe there should be a link to our Discord server, and if there isn't any, you can just search up our SimGrid, where you can also join our league and our races. You can also join this series still while I'm missing a battle. In front, Jan Pavlik has just overtaken Bugrayelbe, and he's trying to keep his position in this beautiful 720S Evo McLaren, or at least I believe it is a 720S Evo. It's only a 720S. He's getting away, although he kicks that McLaren's back a few times, but he seems to be getting away so far. But I've seen a tendency that Bugrayelbe is actually quite good at confusing his opponents, putting on pressure. His only problem is that he makes a set of mistakes on his own. Other than that, he is quite a talented driver, and his racecraft is, I think, unmatched on this grid. Just watch this, side by side, the two drivers into the first corner. Let's see, who will it be on the outside? Bugrayelbe. He cannot clear the McLaren. The McLaren gets away. Now Bugrayelbe trying to catch up. Both of the drivers kind of run wide. Oh, Yelbe missing his braking point. Remember that earlier in this race he missed the braking point and it didn't end well for neither of the drivers, but now he got quite close. The second driver of number 166, so I'm in. Don't worry. Oh, it seems like someone has left. I think it's... Oh, who left? Someone has already given up. And I'm not sure which car I'm not seeing currently on the grid. Yay, baby endurance race, eating some pizza while watching. Oh, whoops, that's my alt account, not the main. Hi, Lolly. Good to see you too in the comment section. You can also hop on and commentate with me if you want. And it seems like, in the meanwhile, Pavlik is getting away. Bugrayelbe is making his own mistakes, kind of misjudging corners. Also, he has to get back into his space. Well, from speaking from my own experience, Barcelona isn't the best track to drive in the wet. Of course, if you are a really good driver in wet conditions, then any track will do. But I think this is especially bad. Who is your favorite as Marek? Well, I cannot say who's my favorite. I'm supposed to stay kind of neutral towards all of the drivers. I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I could say who's my driver of the day so far, but that would be hard to say again. Oh! And what is happening? Vissers, did he went off track? Or did he go off track? Or did Ziaher make a mistake? Or, sorry, did he went off track? Did he make a mistake? Or Ziaher just overtook him? So, I wouldn't say I have a favorite, because I've only been seeing these guys for a few races only, and really I'm supposed to stay neutral. I could only say who's my driver of the day today, and I really cannot say yet. I would say Scarlett Brown is a really strong candidate, because she's been making hell of a fast laps. Of course, he didn't take the fastest lap yet, but she's been the most consistent. Did I say he again? Visser's got overtook by the Ferrari. He's losing grip in the rain with a full tank. Oh, thank you so much for the information. We are soon switching broadcasting softwares, because this is kind of a crappy setup that we currently have. We'll be switching back to ACC TV. Now I'm using ACC Director, but it's absolutely trash, I'm sorry to say. That's why it's an open source program. So yeah, soon we'll be upgrading this part of the commentaries as well. But in the meanwhile, I really want to see what's going on track. Alexander Rage isn't quite prepared for today's race. I think he had already crashed. There seems to be some extremely visible damage on his front bumper and, how do you call it, not trunk, but the hood. So this won't be his race. At least he'll be finishing and picking up some points, as we have points for 12 teams. Pavlik is happy with his setup. Oh! I mean, it seems like he should be happy. He's been doing quite alright. I don't think I've ever seen him being in an accident, except being around an accident and picking up some places from oh, Yusuf left. Okay. Found the driver who left. Between Yusuf and Bugra Yelbay, there was an incident and he picked up both of the places, I think. Or at least Yusuf's. Oh! No, the McLaren driver! He just said he was happy with his setup. That's so sad. He just said he was happy with his setup. He was putting in quite nice laps. He was getting away from Bugra Yelbay. And it seems like he just lost focus. Driving kind of got into a driving routine. And something unexpected happened. So sad to see this. The McLaren driver was doing so good with the SHIP Racing McLaren. So from P4 to P5, but the person who must be happy is Bugrayelbey, currently sitting in P4 and might be catching up once again. He has the the road clear ahead of him. No one to stop him, no one to bother him. He just needs to keep a steady pace. For some reason I cannot speak English today. I'm extremely sorry to the viewers today. So the road is wide, clear ahead of him, nothing to bother. He doesn't even need to hot lap, just keep a steady pace, you know. As Doc would say, float like a Cadillac, sting like a Beamer. Slight Cars reference there. Hope that Disney... Is it just you on comms, or are there more coming in some minute? Sadly, it's just me today. We would have a commentator today, another one, but he couldn't quite arrange his technical setup, so it's just me today. Hopefully for next time, we'll be seeing more commentators. Also people with more knowledge than me. Of course, I'm a motorsport enthusiast, and I eat, sleep, drive, read about motorsports, and then repeat. But sadly, that's not quite enough. Let's just say I'm quite young, and I didn't have time to know everything yet. I know some stuff, of course. I have some notes on the track, which I'll be talking about. But it would be nice to, you know, have a more experienced commentator who's been doing this for 3-4 years now. Has a lot of information, and honestly it would be quite beneficial for me as well to get to know a bit more about tracks, cars. I've been commentating for about a year now. Oh, someone is in the wall. Oh, don't worry, man, you're doing good. I'm learning too. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you so much. Who is in the wall? Oh, Alexander Rage joining back. It's really not his day today. Barcelona is quite a challenge in the rain. Honestly, I was in Barcelona a few months ago. It never rained. So it was quite a surprise for me as well that today is a rainy race. And it's not even a bit rainy. It is close to a thunderstorm. And it is continuously raining. Soon, drivers will start hydroplaning, or they are already hydroplaning. I cannot see how big the water is as of now on the track, but it seems like a lot, and puddles are starting to form. And the bad thing about those puddles is mainly when drivers have to brake. So when drivers are braking, I think I say this every time we are on a rainy race, but of course there are always new viewers and I would like to explain it to them. So those puddles will act as big sausage curbs, because if you brake and run into one of those puddles, it will kind of bump your front tires up in the air and run onto that layer of water, which is of course really slippery. And that's the reason a lot of drivers cannot stop today, because they run onto that layer of water on the asphalt, and they have no grip on the front tires, which means you cannot steer, you cannot brake, you cannot do anything. The best thing you can do is let go of the brake, don't press anything, try to regain grip, and then slowly brake or steer out of that puddle. Because your tires will start pushing that water as well, which will just make it worse. So as soon as you can get off that layer of water, or at least touch the asphalt, you want to slowly steer off. Brakes overheated. In the rain? Wow. What brake set did you have on? Because there is a special brake set which you can put in setups that are fit for rain. Of course, it's really unusual that your brakes overheated. I hope that you are not running. Oh, pads 4. I'm not sure. It's different, I think, in every car. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. So pad 1 is short events. Pad 2 is more endurance racing. Pad 3 is designed for wet racing, and Pad 4 is the participation certificate equivalent of brake pads. Is as useless as headlights on an F1 car. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's why I would change from Pad 4s, definitely. I just searched it up and they said Pad 4s are as useless as headlights on an F1 race car. Because it is... Oh, it has the highest braking performance, but it is the most aggressive. It has the most aggressive pad wear, so it can last for an hour, but it really doesn't like lasting for an hour. So I think probably today most people are running either Pad 2s or Pad 3s. But if anyone is changing their pads, please use Pad 3s or Pad 2s just to avoid confusion. No, we were told by other people that Pad 4 are meant for rain. He's on Pad 2s now. Okay, that's endurance racing pads. That's pretty good for rain. Pad 3 is wet. Pad 4 is... It's like kind of a testing pad. You can call it that. In real GT racing, they have these testing brake pads. While, by the way, 2 drivers have made their mandatory pit stop. Visser is picking up a stop and go of 30 seconds. While Yelbay is at the back of the pack once again. What is happening to Bugra Yelbay? He's sometimes in the front, sometimes in the back, but Pavlik is up in P3, so he must be happy. So Pad 3 is for endurance events. Pad 4 is meant for testing what brakes feel like when they are dead. Oh, yes, definitely. Would make sense. I think they are mainly like test brake pads, and they don't last long. You just test them if they were... Probably they can give you a great 1 or 2 lap performance, or maybe half an hour performance to test what it would be in ideal conditions, or in any condition. If you had full brake power throughout, you know, your brakes wouldn't cool out, probably wouldn't overheat, but this wasn't the case. They were overused. And changing the brake pads, I think that takes half a minute at least. Not an easy job. For the pit crew, it definitely took some time and definitely lost them a place or two. I mean, they were sitting in P2, and they currently also have a stop-and-go penalty. So it's pretty sad. They had quite a good pace. Hopefully they can keep that pace up. Also, for our YouTube viewers, if you are watching, or if you would be watching on Twitch, you could be collecting channel points, which then you can redeem for an ACC game key. For the first one who actually achieves that, you can actually collect it. And then the next game probably would be LMU, but we still have a game key on our hands. Oh, and there is a battle unfolding between Joshua Coleman and Jan Pavlik. Jan Pavlik is the defendant, if we can say that. While Vissers goes into the pits and serves the stop-and-go penalty. Joshua Coleman soon side by side with the McLaren. Let's see, Joshua Coleman on the outside, brakes big, kicks it sideways, but he manages to catch it both times. Great performance from Joshua Coleman. He could have made that overtake a bit smarter, and he could have actually finished it maybe a bit later. Patience is key in these conditions. You really cannot rush an overtake, because either you will end up in the wall, you'll wear your brake pads, you'll overheat something, although in the rain it's pretty unlikely, but you will definitely damage the car in one way or another, or at least make some mistakes, which is not good. Of course, telling a race car driver to be patient is one thing, them listening to you in a heated battle is another. But Joshua Coleman, again, side by side, I mean, seems to have the better exit speed and the better entry speed for the long right-hander here at Barcelona, one of the most infamous corners of this track. And let's see, into the hairpin from the outside. Joshua Coleman manages to keep his position, took it a bit wider so that he gains a bit more exit speed. He tries to break away from Jan Pavlik and secure that third position as of now. Of course, it's really hard when that Porsche is rear heavy. You know, the engine in the Porsche is a rear engine. And it's not that easy to keep the rear balanced. Of course, in dry conditions it has more grip, but now it's just kicking its back end because of the added extra weight. Let's see, is Coleman still struggling with grip? I think Joshua Coleman was... Oh, and he listened to me, I didn't even notice. Joshua Coleman had somewhat close to a Ricky Chiesa livery, and I told him that that livery is cursed, and that might be the reason he got the penalty and he had a lot of the stuff coming his way. I mean, he got to P3 no problem by taking down that livery. I'm not sure if they are running a livery right now and it just didn't download for me, or it's just a bug, or they are really not having a livery on that Porsche. I mean, it looks mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the idea of a fully black or fully carbon Porsche, because I don't even think they have a black paint on it. Sad way to ruin the race. I mean, I don't think it's ruined yet. I think you still have a chance. Let's see, timetable, if timetable would show the intervals. That's why I love this game, because sometimes it just doesn't want to do what you want to do. But I think you still have a big chance of catching up. It's a 1 minute. Oh, are you 2 laps down? Did it take you that long to change the brakes? Because if what the leaderboard is saying is true, then you might have a bit of a problem. Otherwise, I think you have a pretty good chance of catching up. Joshua Coleman. 1:15 stop for brakes and tires. Then it's only 1 lap down and the other drivers haven't pitted yet. So if you can put in some great laps now, tires won't deteriorate that much, and it doesn't really matter in the rain, in my opinion. You don't really notice if your tires are worn as much. And of course the tire wear is way less. Why Joshua Coleman is just pushing the board out of its way, or out of his way. Well, Scarlett Brown will begin to make some overtakes, lapped overtakes. I'm not sure if Ziyech is actually catching up or not. Oh, Alexander Rage made Scarlett Brown's job quite a lot easier than it would have been if they would have started fighting each other. So she can continue her road to the top and cruising until the end, or at least until she runs into another upcoming lapped car. Oh, Alexander Rage, I think he went off the track once again. Yes, he did. It is really not his race, let's just say that. Joshua Coleman currently 40 seconds behind Dominic Ziyech. I mean, Joshua Coleman is already on the podium. The question is, will he stand on the second or third step? Same question for Dominic Ziyech. Oh, and in the meanwhile, I wanted to say that Bourret will get a competitor suit on his tail. The M4 BMW of Daniel is catching up with that McDonald's livery. I believe it is McDonald's, is it? Oh, it is. The BMW is catching up quite fast, it seems. And if Bourret keeps the same mistakes, he might be out of that P5 pretty soon. Now Daniel closing the gap. Soon only 1 second behind Bugrayelbey. So Daniel now on the tail of Bugrayelbey. Question is, can he make the overtake? Well, he's definitely trying to. Question is, does he have the pace? Because Bugrayelbey, as soon as he saw that the BMW is catching up and closing the gap, he also started pressing the gas a bit and trying to squeeze out every last bit of performance left in that Mustang. But he still keeps making those mistakes, and oh, the BMW driver seems to be coming into the pits. So he'll be one of the first of the actual front pack to make his pit stop, his strategically planned pit stop, hopefully. Let's see what Joshua Coleman is up to. Well, we can see that Dominic Ziaher is catching Scarlett Brown. Still has more than an hour to catch up and make that overtake. It's really about making smart decisions, not pushing the car's limits as of now. Trying to save everything as much as possible. So that when it actually comes to the time to battle, they still have something in the tank. Also, if you want to participate and currently you are watching us either on Twitch or on YouTube, please join our Discord community, because we'll be making a YouTube video quite soon about grading our community's sim setups. So if you want to show up there, please come in, get a role. Also, if you want to join a racing series, because we always like to welcome newcomers, even if you just want to be a reserve driver. If you want to be a reserve driver, it's important that you contact me and post your setups, because there will be a video upcoming in approximately in about 2 weeks. Oh, and it seems like, is it Alexander Rage once again? Oh, and Joshua Coleman is following him, and Joshua Coleman is playing an interesting game, while Dominic Ziaher is choosing to undercut. Probably. They made their pit stops. So Dominic Ziaher currently behind one of the Lamborghinis. I think it's Visser's. Yes, it is. And the Money Shift Racing Lamborghini. What I wanted to say is that Joshua Coleman is playing a dangerous game. He's going for fast laps and seems to be kicking that Porsche sideways quite a lot of times. Of course, he can catch it, but he's losing a few tenths of a second, maybe even a full second. And he might just not kick it sideways, but kick it around one day or one time. And that won't be beneficial while Pavlik is trying to catch up to Joshua Coleman. Yalbe is in the pits as well with his Ford Mustang. When now Dominic Zier and Vissers are battling, it shouldn't be an issue to Dominic Zier as there are blue flags. So hopefully Vissers lets the Ferrari pass. You can see the blue flag being waved, and oh, an interesting move to the inside by Vissers. At least he let the Ferrari go on its way. But it was an interesting way to do so. Some might say a questionable way. Zier has been holding that fastest lap for forever now, but he didn't manage to make it to the top just yet. Question is, when is Scarlett Brown coming out? She's embarking on another lap as well. So in the commentating booth, I'll take a short break, an extremely short break, just to get myself hydrated, and I think you should do so too, because there's still a long way to go. About an hour and 10 minutes. So see you guys back in a few, and until then you can enjoy the racing. And I said that I wouldn't be for long. So let's get back into the racing, and as we can see, Jan Pavlik is making up quite some time to Joshua Coleman. He has gained approximately 3 seconds in the span of just a few minutes. If he can keep this pace up without having any problems, he might just be finding himself at the top. Ziad is also trying to catch up to Pavlik. Current gap will show on the tower soon. Is none other than... Oh, are we not seeing it? I guess we won't. That's quite sad. Oh, and Zier kicking it sideways once again. Oh, what is he doing? Yeah, have stopped. What is the Ferrari team doing there? They could easily get back to P2 once the other two teams have pitted. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Seems like Zier is also taking a hydration break. Which will put Joshua Coleman and Jan Pavlik up onto the podium. Question is, when is Scarlett Brown pitting? Probably it will be after or just right around the 1 hour mark. And this team has been doing great, honestly. And we had to wave goodbye to Zier. He won't be continuing this race. When we have also lost one of the other drivers, Daniel with his BMW has also left. What a shame. I don't have words. I guess we better switch to Jan Pavlik. And I shouldn't have said that, because Jan Pavlik was just in the process of ramming into the wall. Picked up some... I wouldn't say slight damage, because it will affect their aerodynamics, but it isn't, you know, heartbreaking either, or a disaster. I think they can still keep their pace, although they've lost approximately 5-6 seconds. So with only 6 teams left on the grid, this endurance event, let's see where everyone is with the help of the track map. Oh, I think Vissers and Yalbe are quite close together. So Yalbe up in P4. Oh, and now side by side, it seems like with Vissers. Vissers down on the inside. Let's see, will we be seeing a switchback from Yalbe? Oh, the Lamborghini kicks it sideways, but still manages to keep it on the inside. Wow, side by side, still the two cars. And this is the type of racing that you won't ever see in Formula 1 because of the half the car ahead in the middle of the corner type rules. And Yalbe is back again, makes a really good switchback, almost professional. And let's see, can the Lamborghini from the slipstream gain enough speed to dive down on the inside? He doesn't. So now it's really just a game of patience. to making the other driver get pressured into making a mistake. Yalbe kind of slips the back end of that Mustang, but it didn't quite affect his pace now. Beautiful defensive maneuvers from the Mustang. Kind of went over the curbs, Yalbe, but still managed to keep his pace and exit speed into the first corner. Let's see, the Lamborghini is showing himself. But it was just a tactic to take Yalbe's how do you call it? Yalbe's attention for a second. So Yalbe is still ahead of the Lamborghini. Question is for how long? Because we can remember that Vissers has been at the front. Probably will be once again. If they can keep up this kind of driving and not make any mistakes.
We are halfway through, keep it up.
As the race director says, we are halfway through the race and we are watching a battle unfold. Probably Vissers have taken it a bit lighter just to see if he can scare Yalbe. Maybe force out a mistake rather than killing their own tires just for one position. Oh, and Pavlik seems to be making more mistakes because he is another 5 seconds down. Oh, and Yalbe makes a mistake. Takes the sausage curb into the chicanes, and no, Vissers is going into the pits once again. Hopefully this time they won't get a stop and go penalty. I believe they'll switch drivers and also switch the tires. And Scarlet Brown is still cruising at the head of the pack. Vissers is going in, but we saw that. Let's see, and Vissers, who is now Aaron Baker. I hope that I'm pronouncing it right. I still didn't get an answer last race, so we'll see this time. They pick up another stop and go penalty for speeding in the pits. At least it's not a disqualification, so they can still pick up some points. But it'll be a hard job from now on, because they still have to catch up to Yalbe at least, if they want to get close to that podium. And they seem to be a lap down from the leader, or at least a lap down. Oh, and Scarlet Brown just caught her going into the pits. They practiced it, it seems like. Seamless pit entry. Here's Pavlik's chance. Make up time or going to the pits quite soon. Oh, just arriving on Aaron Baker. We got dries instead of wets and the stop and go penalty. We drove 50, but still gonna stop and go. No, that's... Shoot. Oh no! You also put it in the wall. I think I should stop spectating you. The commentator's curse is real, and you should tell me to switch the cameras away from now on. Let's see, Scarlett Brown. Now switching to Ezra Fox. Oh, Ezra Fox just got into the driver's seat, it seems like. I'm not sure if it's a he or a she because it's kind of a unisex or gender neutral name. It's given to both boys and girls. I wanted to search it up before I started speaking. I hope I'll get corrected in just a second. Again, I really do not want to offend anyone. But it seems like they really need to get used to the car again after not driving for absolutely not driving for an hour. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I remember the 9-hour Silverstone race, which we did as SPEEDIOTS team. We had two BMWs on track. Meanwhile, Jan Pavlik and Joshua Coleman are in the pits as well. I remember that in that race, we had quite a hard time after not driving for 1.5 hours, maybe 3 hours even, find our way around the track. Especially in Silverstone, you know, it really depends on whether if it's rain or whether if it's dry. In dry conditions, it's way different to drive that track than in wet conditions, especially Meggetts and Beckett's, and the first long fast right-hander, which you can usually take by just, I think, switching down one gear. Or not even that, just braking for a short second. Pavlik still losing time to Coleman, but Coleman seems to be in the pits. What is happening? Pavlik is already out on track, while Joshua Coleman is just coming out, and he lost the position to Jan Pavlik this time. What happened to Joshua Coleman that they messed up the pit stop? Ezra Fox is still leading, while other people are still trying to catch up. Joshua Coleman is now 15 seconds off of Jan Pavlik. Pavlik fix his car? That's the biggest question. Oh no, they didn't do any body work on this McLaren. They were like, let's just see what we can do with this car. The rain is still raining. If you get what I mean, it's still falling and doing its thing against the drivers. So, hell, you know, what can they do? A broken, or at least a bent front won't ruin as many things. Will even give them a bit more drag, so they won't be as fast on the straights, but who cares at this point? They gained a full-on position, and they are 15 seconds ahead of Joshua Coleman. 50 minutes left to go. It is at 15. So I forgot to actually talk about the track while commentating. What's the fastest lap of the race? I believe it was Zayers. Wait, Ziers. And let's see. Should be on the type. No, it's not on the timetable. Good question, because I really don't know. I might be able to check. Oh, I can. 153.52. Ezra Fox is the closest to getting that lap time with only a tenth of a second off. So it's 153.5. It's really fast lap time. Honestly, if there wouldn't be rain, I would be able to do like 148. Considering it's raining, it's a really good lap time. So, but talking about the track, if we want to go into Formula 1 history, the track opened in 1991. So it's not a new track. Of course, it's always updated to safety standards, but it debuted the same year with the absolutely legendary duel between Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell as they raced wheel to wheel down the main straight. It was quite an iconic moment. I think it's one of the most iconic moments on this track, and it's been in Formula 1 ever since. And it's one of the most used tracks for pre-season testing, and they have a really good reason for that. Most of motorsport engineers say that if you are fast on this track, if your car is fast on this track, you're fast everywhere. And of course there's a reason for that. They don't just say it with thin air. It is called a complete track. And I mean, it really deserves the title. If we look on the track map, you can see that there are fast sectors, slow sectors, fast corners, a long straight. So it really tests each and one of the parts of the car. It's much cheaper to test here than, for example, in Spa. And Spa doesn't really have that many slow parts. Here you have many chicanes and also narrow and wide parts of the track. So you can really test out your car here. And yeah. So what I wanted to say, it's a really complete track. You can see every type of corner, every type of straight. Lots of weather conditions as we can see today. Of course, there won't be a lot of rain. We are in Spain, but but you can still experience different weather conditions, and if your car is fast here, it is most likely fast everywhere. Yeah, I'm trying to read through my notes and find something else to talk about. Well, if we are talking about racing, historically it's been hard to overtake, so qualifying is quite important. As we can see, the Mercedes team has qualified on the top of the leaderboard and they are still driving there. So I would say it's really important. And of course there are narrow parts of the track which are way harder to actually make an overtake on. Really takes driver skill, although I would say there are a lot of other tracks which are harder to overtake on, and I'm sorry, I'll switch back to the broadcasting cams in just a second. 153.2, that is really fast with this race. 153.5, did I say 2? So yeah, it's hard to overtake, not the hardest, but I would say it's hard to overtake, and tire wear would be a big deal. Thank God it's raining today, because it has a lot of long corners, deep braking zones. As race engineers say, it's really a complete track, and because of this variety of how should I say this, tire killing corners and combinations and braking zones, tire wear is really important here, especially on an endurance event. So if you can save your tires, you'll most probably be ending up on the top of the leaderboard, except if you're going Grammy pace. But other than that, it's a really big advantage on this track if you can manage your tire and everything else strategically. Oh, and what is Joshua Coleman doing in the pit entry? Joshua Coleman has stopped, and I'm afraid we'll be losing another driver. What happened to Joshua Coleman, ladies and gentlemen? Joshua Coleman is in the pits. Question is, can he or will he make it out of the pits? Ugrayalway already secured podium this way. Just being a bit patient. Oh! Takes the back end. And Baker is struggling with grip as well. Oh! Aaron Baker got a drive-through penalty for cutting the tracks. A bit too much. It's not that easy to keep these GT cars on track. Oh, and probably some of the viewers who are new to motorsports, probably not, because you're watching an esports event. Oh, words cannot describe how angry I am. My ACC has no pit menu, not pit limiter. Didn't have a pit menu last race either. Oh, shoot. So that's why. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you can get it figured out for next week. And if not, please open a support ticket. Hope that we can help you. So Joshua Coleman is in the pits for this reason. Was having such a nice race, to be honest. So that's why he lost a lot of time to Jan Pavlik. So, but what I wanted to say, that GT stands for Grand Touring, which originally is a long-distance endurance racing type of car. It's just a high-performance road car, built for long-distance, fast and comfortable driving. As you can see, we are running an endurance event, and we will also be running an endurance event on May 30th, I believe, for $100 prize pool. I know it's not a lot, but it is still a prize pool, and hopefully we can have some great racing there as well. I'll be commentating the full thing with one of my co-commentators, so I wouldn't miss that. And if you want to participate, I would definitely sign up. It doesn't necessarily have to be a team event. If you can drive 6 hours yourself, you can do that too. We don't mind. A lot of people are coming alone. And if you need a teammate, you can just search for one in our community. We have over 600 members on our Discord, so I think it shouldn't be a problem. But back to GT racing, I think it's really important to know the history of racing series you're watching, because it really adds value to whatever you're watching, especially in these moments when we don't necessarily have a battle going on screen. So GT racing grew from an idea that racing cars that are based on production models, unlike pure prototypes, should also be tested for endurance and speed, and you know, how long can these cars last. So manufacturers really had an opportunity to show off what their cars can do. It was kind of an extra advertisement for their vehicles. And of course you can see Lamborghini and Ferrari, and it's really just showing really rich people that they are paying for a really high quality car. But you can also see Toyotas nowadays in LMGT3 and Lexus and these smaller, I wouldn't say smaller brands, but less luxurious brands joining the lineup as well, such as Ford, which we can already see here. And yeah, it really took off in the 1950s with events like the 24 Hours of Le Mans and a lot of other following events such as the Nürburgring, Spa, and other endurance events that I cannot even name. Or Daytona. I shouldn't leave out Daytona. Daytona is one of my favorites, with manufacturers like Ferrari, Porsche, and Jaguar joining in, that could also dominate these endurance races, of course, with their already developed high-performance engines. And then there were cars later that kind of blurred this line between road car and race car, because of the Ferrari 250 GTO, which was a really popular car back in the day. We can see that Ezra Fox is still dominating, nearly putting a lap of gap behind her. Or him or her, I still haven't got a chance. Thank you, hope you have... Oh, that was not kind to us, hoping we are not just rain merchants, and peace lasts the season. And the pace lasts the season. Oh, yeah, definitely. Sorry, I cannot even read. Well, hopefully not, and your pace is really good. Oh, which actually got you to secure the fastest lap, last lap. Thank you, hope you have a good rest of the season too. That's haha, keep the pace. Steen visitors. So back to history, because I actually want to make a video on this, and I already had these notes prepared for a few months now, so it's good to talk about it. especially in these times. So I think everyone heard of the gold rivalries in the old golden era, where there was even a movie made with Ford versus Ferrari. Ford Motor Company developed the GT40 especially just for GT racing, to run on multiple races, Daytona, Le Mans, etc. And it really put them on the map in terms of car performance. And when Ford actually beat Ferrari at Le Mans and, you know, succeeded to dominate from 1966 to 1969, again this GT racing really took off, and talked about these rivalries. And of course, it's not just the racing that is promoting the cars, but also the cars promoting the racing. Because I think if GT cars wouldn't be GT cars, which we see today, I think a lot of people wouldn't watch it. And this era kind of cemented GT racing as a global spectacle, in my opinion. And then after GT racing split into different classes with more structure and more rules, series like the FIA GT Championship or the GT World Challenge or LMGT3 racing in VAC, they helped standardize these categories, and then cars became more extreme. Some actually barely resembled their road-going versions. As you can see currently, this Mercedes-AMG on screen is actually quite different from its road model. Of course, it's really nice to see some resemblance, and actually a lot of resemblance, but it really has some different specs. And then in modern GT racing, we can define GT racing in 3 categories mostly. GT3 is the most popular and used worldwide, such as, you know, we are using GT3 currently. And then, of course, there is GT and GTLM or LMGT3, which are more factory focused and highly engineered. Oh, and I shouldn't forget the IMSA Sports Car Championship as well, which is the American series. Let's see, are there any battles going on track? Cheer for both of us in the Transmerc, by the way. Thank you so much. Finally, I'm corrected. I had a feeling that it's a she/her. I just didn't want to offend anyone. I hope that's understandable. And really thank you for correcting me earlier as well. Your requested rain, they said. Yeah, this race will be a bit of a struggle because of the rain, haha, and the small issues. The rest of the season should be wet. You should have raced last season. Last season was completely wet in the S3 GT3 Championship for some reason. Karma, I guess. I thought it would be nice to have a rain race in the season. I hope it will be dry. Yeah, this isn't the best track to have race on. You know, as engineers say, it's a full track, a complete track. It's full of everything, and it really puts drivers' knowledge to the test. You're all good. Thanks for being accepting. Of course. Thank you so much for racing with us. Now we can see the 10B performance car hunting down its prey, if we could say that. A lapped car again in front of the Mercedes. And it seems like, Baker is going into the pits again. They picked up a drive-through, but they've already served that, so I don't see a reason they should be going to the pits. Maybe they've put on bad racing pads once again. I'm really not sure. Yeah, driver swap again. Good luck. Ah, okay. Oh, and track is only being damp now, so it isn't as wet. People can put in some faster laps. Fast laps will be up for grabs for about 30 minutes. And then after that, we'll be seeing some really wet weather once again. Oh, Joshua Coleman joined back in, probably for a few laps so that he can pick up some points. What I wanted to say that GT racing, really special, and of course I came from NASCAR. I loved Formula 1, but GT, I feel like GT is a really good racing series, and it really puts drivers to the test, not in an over-engineered car. Of course it's engineered. Okay, it's not a road car. Okay, but it's still simpler than Formula 1 or Super Formula or any open-wheel racing series. And I really enjoy driving these cars. Also, you can see on the same track a mix of amateur drivers and elite pros, which again causes a bit of chaos, so it's not as boring as Formula 1 is nowadays. I don't see draft trains going on everywhere on track. It's really about a bit of a chaos. Oh, and I can see a pack of drivers being together. Let's see who those two are. Oh, it is Yelbe. Currently trying to take his lap back from Jan Pavlik, and it seems like Yelbe has picked up some battle damage as well. His hood is all banged up. And that's what I meant by chaos. I'm not saying I support crashes, I'm just saying that, you know, it can be chaotic, and it really takes driver skill also to avoid these. So in this battle, Vorn for GT. Let's see if he can kind of confuse the McLaren a bit. Okay, let's see now, soon side by side the two cars. Are they? Oh, my bad. The camera angles. But Yelbe is definitely getting closer. Maybe further away, I'm not sure who was in the front before. Might have been Pavlik who just took his lap back, or not took his lap back, but gave another lap to Yelbe. We have rookies in Formula 1 too in every year, like Fernando Alonso. Oh, that is true. That is true. And you cannot say that Fernando Alonso isn't the rookie of the year every year. But I'm saying like rookies. It's like putting a Formula 3 driver into F1 straight away. Okay, that's not a good wait. That's not a good example either, because Max Verstappen, I believe Max Verstappen was put into Formula 1 from Formula 3 as well as Michael Schumacher and a lot of other drivers. I would say there are a lot rookier drivers than rookies in Formula 1. Like, rookies in Formula 1 aren't that bad. I'm not saying rookies in GT3 are bad, or in GT categories, but to be honest with you, I don't think they have the same level of experience. They aren't as well prepared as rookies in Formula 1. They are a lot less prepared. Think of the GT Open Series. Oh, side by side the two cars, and Jan Pavlik goes a bit too wide. They really say that the Ford Mustang is a wide car, but I don't think it's that wide. So what I wanted to say is... What did I want to say? Good question. Probably wasn't important. Probably was, but it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, think of the... Yeah, think of Jan Mardenborough. I didn't want to say his name incorrect. The driver who came from sim racing, from Gran Turismo. I don't think he had a lot of experience in actual GT3 cars. They were driving in Nissan 350Zs, I believe, not even in Nissan GTRs, that are actual GT cars in the end. Oh, Bugrayelbe, in the meanwhile, has a really big pace advantage over Jan Pavlik. I will continue the story as soon as this battle cools down, but I don't want to miss any commentating opportunity. So Bugrayelbe still trying to hunt down that McLaren. Oh, really close. So now, let's see who can take a better run at the long straight. Bugrayelbe seems to be the pace advantage with that roaring. I hope it's a V8. And now on the inside, Bugrayelbe. Let's see, will he miss his braking point? No, he won't. A beautiful corner from the Mustang driver. And he clears. He clears Jan Pavlik. Yes, of course, it's a V8. It's a 5.4 liter V8. Naturally aspirated. Often referred to as the Coyote engine, which you can actually order in your Ford Mustang. Of course, not as spec'd out as this one is. Oh! And Bugrayelbe, as I said, always makes his own set of mistakes, losing him another position. Yelbe. I mean, it wasn't a full-on position. He still had to take back a lap, and in 22 minutes, that realistically won't be happening. Let's see. Will Bugrayelbe go for the overtake again? No, not this time. He just scared the McLaren driver. But it seems like it didn't work. GT3 divers aren't as prepared as F1. Yes, I can only agree with that. Now let's see, Bugrayalbay once again side by side with the McLaren. He really doesn't want to push the limits of that blue flag, but he also doesn't want to just stay in P3. It's really amazing that he's a lap down and he's still there. He's still on the podium. But I guess that's how it is. And was that Ezra Fox in the background? I think it was. The 10B performance car is on something, like really on something. They will probably will lap everyone by the end of this race, which is absolutely amazing. Oh, and now Bugrayalbay again, now clearing McLaren driver on the straight. Let's see, can Bugrayalbay hold his horses? I see that the McLaren driver couldn't. Oh, will it be? Yes, it's a safe rejoin still. At least it seemed like a safe rejoin. Let's see, Ezra Fox soon taking on 2 more lap drivers. Ezra Fox picking up the pace and also set the fastest lap. I shouldn't be picking up the pace, my bad there. And now flashing her lights. Oh, the McLaren driver wasn't letting her by at any means. Still taking kind of a defensive lane. Oh, pushing Ezra Fox off the track. What kind of ignorance of blue flag was that? Maybe he didn't mean it, but it still held up Ezra Fox quite a lot. And of course they weren't losing any positions, but imagine if that would have happened in a racing situation. I don't think the Mercedes drivers would be happy. also to the drivers. Not the drivers, sorry, to the viewers, so that you are not as bored. If you want to, meanwhile, Ezra Fox, by the way, overtook Ugrayelbe, keeps pushing on. But so that you are not bored as well, and I am not out of things to talk about either, you could send me some interesting racing history I might or might not know about, and then I would like to talk about it. You could tell me who's your favorite driver. It doesn't need to be necessarily GT3 or from this field, but overall. It can be NASCAR, it can be Formula 1, it can be GT3, it can be VEC, it can be hypercars, whoever. I would just really like to see, you know, where our viewers from, what they watched when they were little. Oh, Ezra Fox makes a bit of a mistake. And it's not like it's costing her a lot, because they were quite consistent throughout the whole race. Doesn't seem to be any other way, really. Also, to skiing visitors, when you were asking 153.2, that is really fast with this race. I believe I kind of misread that, because I said, you know, if this would be dry conditions, I would do like 148, 149. I said dry conditions. This is a pretty fast pace currently. I'm probably realizing this quite late. But just to be sure that I didn't blaspheme and didn't talk bad about anyone, I didn't want to. I'm not that good of a driver. Don't mistake me. No, this is a pretty good race pace. Not a pretty good race pace. I probably couldn't do this race pace. Trying to reflect on how it would be if it would be dry conditions. Oh, Alexander Rage. Going off track once again. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'll go for a quick 2-minute break because I have to get things sorted for one of the drivers. In the meanwhile, you can still see this beautiful #TrendsRides X 10B performance Mercedes AMG taking laps around this beautiful circuit. You can also clip some because I'll go quiet, so it will be nice and chill and without my voice. So now with only 4 minutes left in the race, everyone is kind of spaced out by a lap or two. So we won't be seeing any last lap overtakes. But, to be honest, it was a really nice race, a really cozy race, if I can say. Of course, we had our really interesting parts, but this last 20 minutes was really nice to just see the cars going on the track, listening to the roaring engines. Meanwhile, we can see Ezra Fox once again making a lapped overtake.
Leaders on final lap now.
So Ezra Fox is on her final lap, while Jan Pavlik was in the pits. And now coming through one of the last corners. And now through the last corner. The hashtag Trends Rights Extended B Performance Car, the AMG, with Ezra Fox comes home, kicks it sideways, and still, I wanted to stay still, didn't crash into the wall. What a beautiful win and what a performance. They really put it out there today. And let's just say probably they were prepared and it paid off. Congratulations, winning race 2 is Ezra Fox and Scarlett Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do it. So congratulations to the drivers. Wow, what an amazing race. Pavlik has finished as well. Ograyal by 2. Vissers will soon finish. The only person who didn't see the checkered flag was Joshua Coleman, who's already in the pits. I could have went 6 tenths quicker on my pole position, says Ezra Fox. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. Congratulations to the 10B Performance team once again. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Even though these last few laps were kind of strange. Public P6 to P2. Oh, true. Wow. Tires are cooked, says Vissers. Public has a puncture. Oh, that's why. Poor Public. Insane performance from him, by the way. GG's. Ooh, good fun. So that's why Public went to the pits. Well, still, he could remain in P2. I'm sorry that I missed that part. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. And see you tomorrow. Hopefully see you tomorrow because I won't be able to commentate. At least not all of the series. So yeah. Thank you. Have a nice evening and hope to see you over the weekend. I'll be here on Sunday if we have NASCAR. Until then, bye and have a nice weekend.